Imagine this. You're 67 years old. You've worked your whole life, saved every penny for retirement, and finally, the dream vacation you've been talking about for decades is right in front of you. An Alaskan cruise. Glaciers calving into the sea, whales breaching right next to the ship, misty fjords that look like something out of a fairy tale, northern lights dancing overhead if you're lucky. You've got the brochure open on your kitchen table, pages worn from flipping through them so many times. The itinerary is memorized. Departure from Seattle. Inside Passage, Juneau, Skagway. Glacier Bay, that epic Dawes. Glacier where the ship just sits there for hours while massive chunks of ice thunder into the water. Your suitcase is open on the bed, and you're packing, with this quiet excitement bubbling up inside you that you haven't felt in years. Thermal base layers folded neat. Waterproof jacket with the tags still on. Binoculars you bought specially for spotting bald eagles. Sturdy hiking boots for those shore excursions. Fleece pullovers in case it gets chilly on deck at night. You're checking things off your list one by one. Gloves? Check. Beanie? Check. Camera with extra batteries because you don't want to miss a single moment. This isn't just a trip, this is the reward. The thing you promised yourself when you were grinding away at the office. Raising kids, paying mortgages. Alaska. You're Alaska. And then the phone rings. It's your daughter, Emily. You answer with a smile in your voice because you're in that good mood. You know? Hey sweetheart, everything okay? You still helping me double check if I need motion sickness patches? But her voice is different. Tight. Shaky. Dad, we have to talk about the cruise. Your hand freezes mid-fold on a sweater. What's wrong? Is someone sick? No, Dad, money's really tight right now. Mark lost a big client at work. Commissions dried up. We can't afford it anymore. We have to cancel. Cancel. The word hits you like cold water. But this was her gift to you. Last year on your birthday, in front of the whole family, she handed you the envelope with the tickets inside. Tears in her eyes, saying you deserve this more than anyone. For everything you'd done for them over the years. Everyone clapped, toasted to what an amazing daughter she was. And now cancel. You feel that heaviness settle in your chest. But you push it down because that's what dads do, right? Family comes first. Hey, don't worry about it, honey. These things happen. You guys get back on your feet. That's what matters. Vacations can wait. She sounds so relieved on the other end. Thank you for understanding, Dad. I love you. The call ends, and you're standing there in your bedroom staring at the open suitcase. All that excitement drains out of you slow, like air from a balloon. You start unpacking. One by one. The binoculars go back in the drawer. The jacket hangs in the closet. The hiking boots line up with the others. Each item feels heavier going back than it did coming out. You tell yourself it's fine. They're struggling. Mark's a good guy, works hard in real estate. These slumps happen. You'll reschedule next year when things are better. That's what you keep repeating in your head while you make a simple dinner. Eat alone at the table. Glance at the calendar where you'd circled the departure date in red marker. You draw a single line through it. Clean. Final. That night you lie in bed staring at the ceiling fan spinning slow circles, feeling that stone of disappointment sitting right on your chest. But underneath it there's still warmth, pride even. Your daughter trusted you enough to be honest about their money problems. That's what family does. We sacrifice. We understand. You fall asleep believing that completely. The next morning you're sipping coffee, trying to focus on the newspaper, when the phone rings again. Unknown number, local area code. You answer casually. Hello? And this cheerful, booming voice comes through. Hey there. This is Tom Richardson, Mark's dad. How you doing, buddy? You straighten up a little. Tom. You've met him maybe 5 times total. Holidays, the wedding, awkward backyard barbecue. You're not close. Doing all right, Tom. What can I do for you? He launches right in, full of excitement. I just had to call and thank you personally for this incredible gift. An Alaskan cruise. Man, I've been dreaming about something like this forever. Never thought I'd actually get to do it. Your coffee cup stops halfway to your mouth. Everything inside you goes ice cold. Gift? What gift, Tom? Come on, don't be modest. Emily told us how you insisted I take your spot. Said you wanted it to stay in the family, that someone should enjoy it. That's real class, real respect for your elders. You raised her right. The kitchen walls feel like they're closing in. Your hand sets the cup down careful, too careful, like you're moving underwater. I see, you managed to say, voice flat. Yeah, we're flying out tomorrow morning. Mark's pumped. Emily's been packing all week. This is going to be the trip of a lifetime. Enjoy it, Tom. The coldness finally cuts through his enthusiasm. Well, yeah, thanks. Just wanted to say how much it means. You hang up. The phone sits there on the table. Coffee goes cold. Newspaper forgotten. She didn't cancel the cruise. She gave your spot to her father-in-law. Told him you offered it willingly. Made you look generous while she stole it right out from under you. And that's when something shifts inside. You. Cold. Clear. Calm. Like a switch flipping after. Years of being too patient. Too giving. Too blind. You sit there in the kitchen for what feels like hours. The phone still in your hand. Tom's cheerful voice echoing in your head like a bad dream you can't shake. Your coffee's gone completely cold now, untouched. The newspaper headlines blur together because none of it matters anymore. All you can think about is how Emily looked you in the eye at that birthday dinner. Handed you those tickets with that big smile. Everyone praising her for being such a thoughtful daughter. And it was all a show. You get up slowly, legs feeling heavy, and walk to your home office. It's a small room off the hallway. Neat as always, filing cabinets lined up. Desk clear except for a few consulting files from your old city planning job. You sit down in the leather chair. Open the middle drawer of the filing cabinet and pull out the folder labeled Condo Rental Property. The condo you bought back in 2012. As an investment, nice area, 3 bedrooms, good schools. Figured it'd bring in steady retirement income one day. Then Emily got married. She and Mark needed a place, just temporarily, while they saved for a down payment. 6 months, maybe a year. You handed over the keys. Told them not to worry about rent until they were on their feet. That was 7 years ago. 7 years of them living there rent-free, while you covered the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, repairs. You flip open the folder, pull out the deed. Your name only. No lease agreement. Nothing in writing. You boot up your laptop, log into your bank accounts, and start scrolling through transactions. It's like opening a wound you've ignored for years. There it is, transfer after transfer. $10,000 for emergency vet bills. Right before you saw photos of their new SUV on social media. $8,000 for roof repairs that somehow coincided with their Hawaii vacation posts. $5,000 here for medical deductible. $3,000 there for car breakdown. Always urgent. Always promises. We'll pay you back next month, Dad. As soon as Mark's commission check comes in. The bonuses always came. The repayments never did. You open a new spreadsheet. Columns, date, amount, stated purpose, evidence. Your fingers move fast now, efficient, like back in your planning days when you'd organize complex data into clear patterns. Entry after entry fills the screen. By midnight, the total stares back at you in cold black numbers. $52,000 in loans. Plus, 7 years of missed rent at fair market. Value, another. $140,000 gone. Over 200 grand total in generosity that's never been acknowledged, let alone repaid. You dig deeper. Old emails, text messages saved on your phone. Dad, we're short this month. Can you help? Promise we'll settle up soon. Dad, the kids need braces. It's unexpected. Another one. Thank you for being the most generous father in the world. We couldn't do this without you. Each one preserved like digital amber. Evidence. You search state tenant laws. No written lease. They're not protected tenants. They're at-will occupants. You can end their stay with 30 days written notice. No cause needed. The deed's in your name alone. They've never paid a dime toward the mortgage or taxes. Legally, it's straightforward. Almost too straightforward. Meanwhile, across town, Emily, Mark, and Tom are buzzing with excitement. Suitcases open in their living room. The living room in your condo. Emily folding warm layers. Laughing as she packs binoculars and rain gear. Mark checking the itinerary for the 10th time. Whale watching in Juneau. Helicopter to Mendenhall Glacier, that train ride in Skagway. Tom boasting about how generous you were to let him take your place. Photos. Already going up on social media. Can't wait for Alaska. Dream trip coming true. So grateful. Hundreds of likes rolling in. You pick up the phone, dial a number from your professional contacts. A law firm you've used before for city contracts. The receptionist answers bright and early the next morning. I'd like to schedule a consultation with Sarah Jenkins, please. Property law matter, eviction procedures, and debt collection. You sound calm, professional. Inside, that cold clarity is growing stronger. The weekend passes quiet. You garden, organize the garage, Routine stuff to keep your hands busy. No calls to anyone. No one calls you. Monday morning you drive downtown in your best suit. Folder thick with printouts on the passenger seat. Bank statements highlighted in color. Text message screenshots. Social media posts timestamped. The deed, the spreadsheet. Everything organized chronologically. Evidence. Sarah Jenkins meets you in the conference room. Sharp as ever, silver hair pulled back. Legal pad ready. You lay it all out piece by piece. She reviews silently at first, flipping pages, nodding. This is airtight, she says finally. No lease means at will. Documentation on the loans is overwhelming, repeated acknowledgement of debt with repayment promises. We'll draft a 30-day notice to vacate and a formal demand. Letter for the 52,000. Send both certified mail and email for proof. You nod. Do it. And time it so they receive it while they're at sea. Limited Wi-Fi. No way to respond immediately. She smiles just a little. Distance can bring clarity. Or panic. Either way, the law's on your side. You leave the office feeling something new settling in your chest. Not anger anymore. Resolve. The machinery is starting to turn. Slow, methodical, unstoppable. The notices go out exactly as planned. Sarah's assistant sends the emails late that Monday afternoon. Subject line cold and professional. Urgent legal notice regarding property and outstanding debt. 2 PDFs. Attached, one the 30-day. Notice to vacate your condo. The other the formal demand for the $52,000. Every transfer listed with dates, amounts. Screenshots of Emily's own texts promising repayment. Certified mail copies follow. Time to hit the condo door while they're thousands of miles away at sea. Out on the cruise ship, the first few days are pure magic for them. The ship glides through the inside passage. Misty green islands sliding by. Bald eagles perched in treetops like they're posing just for the passengers. Tom's living his best life. Holding court at the buffet. Telling anyone who'll listen how his amazing daughter-in-law and son-in-law surprised him with this once-in-a-lifetime trip. How generous the family is. Emily's posting constantly. Sunrise over the water. Champagne breakfast on the balcony. Selfies with icebergs in the background. Mark wins a couple hundred at the casino one night. Buys rounds for the table. They're relaxed, laughing, feeling like they deserve every second of it. Then comes day 4. The ship docks in Juneau for the day. Mark and Tom head off on a whale-watching excursion. All excited about getting close to humpbacks. Emily decides to stay aboard. Says she's a little tired, wants to hit the spa. Maybe catch up on emails since the ship's Wi-Fi package finally kicked in strong near port. She settles into the quiet internet cafe on deck 5. Pays the exorbitant day rate. Sips a latte while her inbox loads. Junk mail, work stuff for Mark, a reminder from the kids' school back home. Then one email stops her cold. Sender, Jenkins Law Associates. Subject, urgent legal notice. Her stomach drops. She knows that name, vaguely, from some old city project you worked on. She opens it, thumbs scrolling fast. The eviction notice loads first. Official letterhead. 30 days to vacate the premises located at your condo address. Their home. Signed by you. Then the debt demand. Page after page. Every loan listed like a punch to the gut. The $10,000 for the SUV with the social media post screenshot attached. The $8,000 emergency, right before Hawaii. Her own words in black and white. We'll pay you back, Dad, I promise. Total owed, $52,000. She stands up so fast the chair scrapes loud across the floor. A lady at the next computer shoots her a dirty look, but Emily doesn't even notice. She's running through the corridors in flip-flops. Heart hammering, back to the cabin. Hands shaking, she dials your number. Straight to voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Again and again. By the 15th try she's crying. Leaving messages that start calm and end hysterical. Dad, please call me back. There's been a huge misunderstanding. We can work this out. You read every text as it comes in, every voicemail. You don't respond. Not yet. When Mark and Tom get back from the excursion, sunburned and buzzing about breaching whales, they find Emily on the balcony sobbing into her phone. Mark takes one look at the screen and goes pale. Tom starts blustering. This is harassment. It's illegal. You can't evict family. Mark shuts him down quick. Dad can. We never had a lease. We never paid rent. This is real. The rest of the cruise turns into a nightmare floating on beautiful water. They skip the fancy dinners. Huddle in the cabin researching tenant laws on spotty Wi-Fi. Emily barely eats. Mark spends hours calculating numbers that don't add up. Tom alternates between rage and denial. Glacier Bay Day, the highlight everyone raves about, comes and goes in a blur. The ship parks in front of Marguerite Glacier. Massive blue walls cracking and thundering into the sea. And they're inside arguing about whether to fight the eviction or start looking for apartments. Back home, the certified letters get returned undelivered, no one to sign. Standard procedure, taped to the front door in bright envelopes. They land late Sunday night, exhausted from travel and dread. Driving up to the condo, they see the notices flapping in the porch light. Emily starts crying again. You unblock her number that morning, knowing the call's coming. It rings at 8:15 sharp. You let it go 4 times before answering. Hello, Emily. Dad. Her voice is raw erect. We just got home. There are papers on the door. We need to talk. In person. Please. No. One word, calm. What do you mean no? You stole my cruise. You lied to my face for years. You lived in my property rent-free for 7 years. Took over 50 grand and never paid back a dime. We're done talking in person. Contact my attorney if you have questions. Dad, please. This will ruin us. You made your choices, Emily. The cruise was just the clearest one. I'm making mine now. You end the call. She calls back immediately. You let it ring. They hire a lawyer cheap. Some guy who tells them straight. No lease means no tenant rights. Fighting delays it a week maybe. Costs money they don't have. And losing puts an eviction on record that tanks future rentals. Best bet. Move out quietly. Try to negotiate the debt. They don't take the advice. They fight. Court date gets set fast. Eviction hearing is short and brutal. Judge reviews the file. Asks Emily if there's a written lease. No, Your Honor, it's family. Family doesn't override property law, ma'am. 30 days notice was more than generous. Judgment for plaintiff. 7 days to vacate or sheriff removes you. They scramble. Find a smaller, older 2-bedroom in a less nice area. Max out credit cards for deposits. Rent a truck. Friends help load furniture while Tom complains about his back. You don't watch. You stay home. Garden, live your life. Debt suit follows. They ignore the demand letter. You file. Court date comes. Their lawyer begs for a payment plan. Judge reviews the mountain of evidence. Your spreadsheet, texts, social media proof, and grants judgment. $52,000. 12 monthly payments of about $4,300 each. First due September 15th. Miss one and wages get garnished. In the hallway outside court, Emily stands 10 feet away staring at the floor while Mark talks quietly to their lawyer. You walk past. Softly, just loud enough for her to hear. I'm not cruel. Emily, I just stopped being your free ride. Maybe one day you'll understand boundaries aren't punishment. They're necessary. She doesn't answer. Just looks up for a second, eyes red, then away. Payments start coming in on time. Every 15th, like clockwork. You rent the condo to a nice young couple. Teachers. Solid income, signed lease. Rent paid up front. They text thank you for the welcome basket. Fall rolls around. You book your own Alaskan cruise. Same itinerary, better cabin this time. Paid with your money, no strings. The morning you board, you stand on deck alone as the ship pulls away from Seattle. Mountains rising in the distance, cool wind in your face. Glacier Bay Day is everything you dreamed. The ship quiet, everyone out on deck watching. Massive chunks of ice. Calve and crash into the sea like thunder. You stand there with your binoculars, coffee in hand, feeling lighter than you have in years. This wasn't about cruelty. It was about respect. Accountability. Drawing. The line you'd let get erased for too long. Justice doesn't always feel sweet, but it feels right. And out here, with the glaciers and the whales and the endless blue, you finally feel free. That's the end of this one, folks. Pure, cold, satisfying justice. If you've ever been taken for granted by family, you know how good this payoff hits. Drop a comment. What would you have done in his shoes? Hit that like button if this gave you chills. Subscribe for more real revenge stories that remind us boundaries matter. And turn on notifications so you never miss the next one.